welcome to another edition of Market Marauders, bidding the market one trade at a time. First things first, if you're new to the channel, Market Marauders investment channel helps you to find the best deals in the market. So if that's something you're interested in, smash that subscribe button down below, like, comment, and share. Also down below, I have a link to my Patreon page, just a community of investors talking about stocks. Try to get on there daily, give some updates on there. So if that's something you're interested in, click that link down below. Now, further ado, let's talk about Nikola Motors versus Tesla. So, as the title suggests, very busy day for Nikola Motors and busy still for Tesla and the things that they have going on. So I'm just going to give a breakdown of the two. Then at the end, I'm going to give my summary on which one I think is the best investment, long term, and even short term. So let's jump into it. So jumping into first into Nikola Motors, giving some background information on them. They're actually under ticker sign VTIQ, and that is because they just recently had a merger that was announced in I think March about this company merging with Nikola Motors. So that being said, there's been some crazy action in the past couple of days. Stock shot up tremendously and is on like a crazy breakout. People are starting to compare this to the early stages of Tesla, and maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but let's see, going into some background information if you are familiar with the company, show you some of the products they make and some of the things they have going on. So if we look into their charts, their moving average 50 was 1249, moving average 200 is 1083, and they ended today, which is the 12th. So just bear that in mind. This video is made on May the 12th at $27.10. So going into some more information, this is the reason for the whole burst in their share price going up. So it says Nikola Corporation, a global leader in zero emissions transportation solutions, will be listed on NASDAQ through a merger with VectoIQ. So that's the company, that's the ticker. So basically, if you want to invest into Nikola Motors at the current time of this video, then you would buy VTIQ. Basically, that's the way it goes. I'm going to read some of this. It says Nikola Corporation, a leader in design development of BEV and FCEV Class 8 semi-trucks, along with VectoIQ Acquisition Corporation, ticker sign VTIQ, publicly traded special purpose acquisition company, announces the two companies have entered into a definite agreement to create a company focused on the development of next-generation smart transportation. Upon the closing of the transaction, the combined company will be named Nikola Corporation, and it's expected to remain NASDAQ listed under the new ticker symbol NKLA. So depending on when you watch this video, it'll either be VTIQ or it'll be NKLA once that is actually changed. And going into some of the highlights, and some of the things that kind of stood out to me that I was like, maybe I need to jump on to this stock, is some of the numbers that they actually have. So it says on the bullet point, Nikola to use proceeds to accelerate its portfolio with battery electric, which is the BEV that I was talking about earlier, and hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles, which is the FCEV, targeting zero emissions globally. Nikola will build out a hydrogen station infrastructure to support its FCEV vehicles. Next bullet point says Nikola has more than 14,000 pre-orders, representing more than 10 billion in potential revenue and 2.5 years of production. So they are backed up tremendously on orders, which to me is something that Tesla had a problem with for a long time, and something they're still trying to, overcome. The demand for these vehicles is so great, and they just don't have the production capabilities to do that. Now, with this company, Nikola being, so kind of fresh. I don't think their production is nearly on the level of Tesla, but look at how high Tesla is now, and they still are backlogged on orders compared to this company. So just remember when Tesla first started. Those are things that I try to keep in mind when looking at this stock. Remember back when Tesla, was just beginning and they had all these orders and they were trying to get production, and they were trying to build factories and all other stuff. And now, all these years later, Tesla, as their factories built, they're still building factories, they're getting production, but look at the share price value and look at, how much money they're actually making. So that's something I try to consider when looking at this stock as well. Okay, it says pro forma enterprise value of the merger approximately 3.3 billion. Transaction includes 525 million fully committed common stock pipe at $10 per share, anchored by institutional investors, including Fidelity Management and Research Company, Value Act Spring Fund, and some of these other people. The company will add Stephen Griskley, current CEO of VectoIQ and former vice chairman of General Motors Corporation, to the board of directors. So on their board of directors, they have a former, you know, General Motors uh, employee. So basically, that's a lot of insight on the board that I think will yield really good for the company in the long term, because they have a perspective of how to market motor vehicles in a different way. Um, that to me, stands out as being something really, really powerful as well. A lot of people don't look at companies' boards as, being an asset, but I think having someone like that on their roster is definitely an asset to the company. Now, going to some of the stuff that they make, this is a video. This is on their website of their Nikola One. So this is like a truck, their 18-wheeler truck. Um, it says up to 2,000 foot-pounds of torque, up to 1,000 horsepower, and it has a 500 to 750-mile range. And it only takes 10 to 15 minutes to refuel. And then they have these H2 stations, which they've got everywhere or are trying to get everywhere. This is what the inside will look like. So pretty futuristic. Um, they have some more features: digital cockpit, zero emissions, online customer portal, and they have like some leasing options as well. Um, and 500 to 750 miles is quite a long time to have, an 18 wheeler. And I think really can revolutionize um, the trucking industry, especially with, that ban of how long truckers can drive being lifted temporarily by the United States government. So, you know, I think this could be, beneficial on both ends. Going to another thing that they make, they have this vehicle right here. So going down, it's a battery powered vehicle, um, some sort of off road vehicle, performance, instant torque, direct drive, low center of gravity, waterproof. On the one that I saw, it had weapons on it. Um, So going to some specs for the vehicle: horsepower 590 horsepower, which is pretty fast. Torque 775 foot pounds. Acceleration of 0 to 60 is 4 seconds, and it has up to 150-mile range. Uh, so it's a pretty fast vehicle, and it looks pretty cool to me, especially when it's retrofitted with all that gear on it. So going into another one. We have this is another one of their vehicles, one of their off-road vehicles. This is on their website. It just shows them basically plugging in their appliances and stuff using this vehicle, which I think is pretty cool because it's electric. They power all the stuff on it. 775 foot-pounds of torque, 590 horsepower. So similar specs to the other vehicle, but I think this is just a commercial vehicle, and I think the other one was kind of geared towards military operations. So This is the inside of the vehicle. Looks more like an off-road vehicle, like um, some of the Polaris vehicles that are out there, but just electric. So it's pretty cool. Uh, the way it looks, charges in the back, it's a charging spot. Um, that it has some more of the specs. This one actually had the price on it. So starting from 80 grand. So it's very pricey. It's very expensive, in my opinion, and for a lot of people, that's really expensive. And it says production begins 2021. So really cool vehicle, in my opinion. Something that you know definitely futuristic looking. But 80 grand, that's a lot, especially for just using this vehicle for just recreational purposes and not as like a daily driver. So, maybe they, once they get production going and running, they can lower the price of that a little bit. And I'm interested to see, what the pre order numbers are on some of these vehicles. Now, here goes another one. It's electric um, jet ski. So that's pretty cool as well. It's got some specs on it as well. And for a lot of these electric vehicles, the torque is instant torque. So that basically means, they're like no gears. You just basically put on the throttle and it goes. There's no price on here for the electric jet ski, but, I think it's pretty cool. It looks really nice, and just something a little different. To me, it's kind of where this company stands out because they're not really, in my opinion, many personal watercrafts or like personal type vehicles that Tesla makes. More of just automobiles and commercial vehicles. So it's cool to see a company do this. And also, one thing that stood out with this company as well is that they have advertisement for the military side of the company, which there's not really one that I know of for um, Tesla. So that's a whole nother market that they're tapping into, that I don't think Tesla is tapping into. Elon Musk himself, I think, is with the whole SpaceX situation, but I don't think Tesla itself is kind of tapping into that market with any vehicles that I know of. And then they have a truck, the Nikola Badger, which to me looks really cool. 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, 980 foot-pounds of torque, 960 horsepower, 600-mile range, powertrain FCEV and BEV. So it's basically going to be the hydrogen battery cell and the electric battery cell from before. I think it looks, pretty cool. Um, very futuristic, but still looks like a truck. Um, you know, I think it looks cool, and interested to see the pre-order numbers of all of these vehicles, which will kind of gear in to are they being bombarded with pre-orders, or is it just the pre-order option is there, and are there more people buying these commercial vehicles, or more people buying the 18-wheeler type vehicles? Now, going to some of their press releases, we can just see on here, in March, this basically talks about the merger. Um, then in February, they unveiled the Badger pickup truck. Um, they unveiled some other stuff. There's a lot of things on here that they're doing. They got a, where was that at? They got a grant here. Right here, they are awarded 1.7 million from the Department of Energy. So I thought that was pretty cool when I read that. So there's a lot of stuff going on with the company. A lot of different things. I think they can be very profitable in the future. But you know, I as being a direct competitor to Tesla, um, we might see. We might see. There's still a lot, a lot of information that I'm looking forward to hearing from this company, because a lot of things change once you go public. But I think they're on the right track. So let's go in comparison to Tesla and see what Tesla has going on currently. So today they ended the week at $809.41. Moving average 50 is $643.51. Moving average 200 is $449.82. So going into some Tesla information, we have the quarter one update. So this is their most recent update. So it basically says that their automotive revenues, let's see, quarter over quarter was down 19%, but it was up 38% year over year. Then automotive gross profit was down 9%, but it was up 75% year over year. So in the long run, to me, they're doing good on paper. But in the short term, it was kind of expected, in my opinion, to see their numbers kind of suffer based on the whole Roni situation. So nothing new there. Going into some of their production, they got 15,000 vehicles of the SX and the Model S and Model X, which was quarter over quarter, down 14%. And their total production was down 2%. So, that's a big metric to consider. But definitely based on the Roni situation, it looks like they were hit pretty hard when it comes to, production as well as, trying to get these cars out. So, you know, the Roni hit everybody, and to me, it was expected that this would happen. But still, overall, a pretty good company. Um, Not downplaying them, and they have had a lot of progress um, over the years and over the quarters. Um, that number to me, people may say, "Oh, it looks really bad," but if you look at quarter one, quarter two, and quarter three, and then quarter four, they were constantly increasing. So, this quarter one was a catastrophic event. No one could have predicted that the whole Roni situation would have happened. So, for that to be on there, I don't, I don't, I don't mark them for that. Okay, going into what they have. So this is the Model S. So the Model S, 391 mile range, commercial vehicle. So something that's already in production, already being sold. So that's definitely an advantage that they have over Nikola. And this being a car that people can buy. So the main difference to me is not just the fact that these are already being produced and people are already buying them, but this to me is like a commercial vehicle that people will buy. The other ones to me seem like kind of like luxury items, but their market in Nikola Motors to me seem to be more geared towards the production, uh, big company sort of market. So they had their military side to me, which definitely is an advantage over um, Tesla. But they also had their commercial side, which was their 18-wheeler trucks. But then the other items, to me, aren't directly competing with this item. So I wouldn't go and compare a jet ski and its sales and production compared to this Model S, or I wouldn't compare their other off-road vehicle with this vehicle, because to me, people aren't going to be driving those on the road. Those are like recreational type vehicles. But one vehicle I would compare though, and I'm interested to see, is the Cybertruck versus their Badger. So let's see if I can find it on here. So this is the Cybertruck um, that Tesla is making, and let's compare the two. So 0 to 60 in less than 6.5 seconds. Mile range is 250 mile range. Storage is 100 cubic feet. Ground clearance 16 feet. Um, Towing capacity 7,500 pounds. And let's compare that to the Badger. So the Badger 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. So it's already faster than the Cybertruck. The foot-pounds of torque, I don't think is on par with that. Yeah, the Tesla Cybertruck has it beat on that one. But as for mile range, 600-mile range. Now, if that number is correct and they definitely can deliver that, I definitely see um, the Badger being bought more than the Cybertruck, because you get a further battery range, more than this 250 plus. Plus, is it I don't know what that number would be, but 250. I'm just going to say it's 250 miles compared to 600 miles, is a large difference. And it's the difference between going on a long cross country trip, or going to a local grocery store. So maybe not that drastic, but you get the gist of the two. So I definitely am interested to see the pre-order numbers on this Nikola Badger, compared to the Cybertruck. So that's one that I'm also interested in. Now, they also have the Roadster, which is another one of the cars that Tesla is selling. But I think from something I read a while ago that they're, halting production on this. So it's going to be a little bit longer till this car actually comes out. It's an amazing looking car. I would love to have one day. But, you know, and it's, got some ridiculous specs. But I wouldn't compare this to the jet ski. And this one has a 620-mile range, so you're getting 20 more miles with this one, compared to the truck. But price point to me is going to be a very important metric, as far as comparing the two vehicles with each other. So price point is going to be where one company is going to shine and the other company doesn't shine. Also, for a total summary, I think, they're competitors in some sense. So, like with the two trucks that they have, I could see as being competitors. But as for, how how Tesla definitely has their electric trucks that they're trying to roll out. So those two markets, the Nikola hydrogen trucks and the Tesla 18 wheelers as well. I definitely could see those two, going head to head, and I would like to compare those metrics, as well as the Cybertruck from Tesla and the Nikola Badger from Nikola Motors. I definitely could see those competing, but all the other products that they're selling, I think are kind of standalone items in my opinion. I think, uh, you know, each company has its strong suits, and to me, as a value investor from this point of view, I think um, Nikola has the potential to be what Tesla currently is. So, if you're looking for, hey, people always say, what would I do if I could invest in Tesla when it first started up? What would I do? Well, this may be your opportunity with another company just like that. So, this is just all opinions. I'm a retail trader, so, it's all opinions on my end. So, just giving you the information on the two different companies to help you find a better, educated guess on trying to go in and find the best company. To me, I think both companies are definitely a good buy. I definitely would buy more Nikola than I would Tesla just because it's cheaper. And I definitely see the potential of it getting to the price of Tesla. Would I sell Tesla to buy Nikola? I don't think so. I probably would, if I have shares of Tesla, or if I'm still planning on buying shares of Tesla, I would probably buy both. So I'd probably buy some Nikola and I'd buy some Tesla. So drop a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me if you think they're direct competitors or are they two completely different companies altogether. And good luck trading to you all out there. Make sure you smash the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time.